What's up, everybody? This is Shizzle Ron with another NFL predictions video. Today we are going to be predicting this week of the NFL. Okay, so this will be just the rest of the slate of this week, and then Thursday Night Football next week. I apologize for the inconsistencies in the uploads, but anyway, let's get right into it. Alright, we got the Broncos and the Jets. I've got the Broncos winning this one because last week I thought the Jets were going to beat the Cowboys, and that, of course, didn't happen, not even though it was in New York. So, yeah, the Broncos are the way better team. They're going to win. They had a close one last week, though, so that should give at least a little bit of hope if you're a Jets fan, right? Then we got the Browns and the Steelers. This would be nice to see the Browns win. I'm expecting one win against the Steelers because they just beat them once every year. But since this is in Pittsburgh and they're starting off hot, I'm just going to go with Pittsburgh anyway. All right. Now we got Chargers and Dolphins. I'm going to have the Dolphins in the upset right here. If I believe correctly, the Dolphins beat the Chargers the last time they matched up. And the Chargers have not looked good the past couple of weeks. They're coming off of a really bad loss against the Commanders. So I think they're going to slip right here again. Then we got the Titans and the Raiders. Two very awful teams. This will determine who is the second worst team in the AFC besides the Jets. Now, I actually have the Titans winning here. Not because they're any good. I just think that the Raiders are just that much worse. Geno Smith is probably the worst quarterback in the league with the exception of Joe Flacco. And I think this is the game where he finally gets benched for Kenny Pickett just to see what they have in Kenny Pickett. It obviously cannot possibly get any worse, throwing 2 to 3 interceptions in a game and then throwing the ball out of bounds on a 4th down. He's just absolutely horrible. Okay? Then we got the Seahawks and the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are actually going to get humbled here. I still think that they're a very good... Actually, no. I just remembered that this is one of the furthest away games of an away team that you could possibly have. They're going from the northwest to the southeast. That's a really long travel. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars. If it was a neutral site, I would go with Seattle. But yeah. I was going to say the Seahawks are going to get humbled just because even though the Jaguars are a good team, the Seahawks are also really good. And Seahawks deserve more wins. But that's a really, really long travel. So I'm just going to go with the Jaguars anyway, just to be safe. And we got the Rams and the Ravens. Rams are coming off a bad one. Ravens got blown out last week. They got their asses kicked by a team that they've blown out every time they've faced each other for the past couple of years. But I think the Rams are going to come back in this game. I don't see the Ravens pulling it off with Cooper Rush. He's been really bad for them last game. All right. Cardinals and Colts. I'm going to go with the Colts and continue the Cardinals losing streak. Colts are just so much of a better team in every way imaginable. All right. Then I got the Saints over the Patriots. Last time they played each other, it was in 2023. Saints beat them 34-0. All right. That was in New England. That's crazy. Patriots are good, but I think they're just going to fall right here. The Giants are not even a bad team, and they just lost to the Saints. So, I think this is just a trap game for both of those teams. So I got the Saints going up, winning this one right here. Spencer Rattler has been an upper-tier quarterback this entire year. He deserves so much better. Sorry I'm stuttering so much today. I don't know what's wrong. If there's anything even wrong, I think I'm just fucking up. Bengals and Packers. Joe Flacco is not going to beat them twice. Bengals are just ridiculously bad this year. Packers easily win. Cleveland has a good home field advantage, so I can kind of see how they lost to Cleveland. But this is in Green Bay. Green Bay is always good at home. All right, and then we got the Lions and the Chiefs. The Lions are simply put the better team. They're going to win this one pretty handedly, too. I think it probably looks similar to what we saw in Baltimore a couple weeks back. All right. Then I have the Falcons upsetting the Bills. The Bills have not impressed me a whole lot this year. They've lost or came close to losing games more than they should have. They almost lost to the Dolphins a couple weeks ago. Almost lost to the Saints. Then they actually did lose to the Patriots last week. I think that the Patriots win against the Bills wasn't really so much the Patriots being good. I think it was a lot to do with the Bills shooting themselves in the foot the past few games. Don't get me wrong, I think they're still a really good team, but they've been slipping. I think they'll get better towards the end of the year, all right? Then we got the Cowboys and the Panthers. Cowboys are better in every way imaginable. They blew them out last year with Cooper Rush at quarterback in Carolina, and it will happen again. Not with Cooper Rush, though. All right. Then we got the 49ers and the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers are the safer choice, even though they lost to the 49ers last year. Just simply put, safer pick. Bucs have looked good this year for the most part. Their only loss was to the Eagles, and that was still barely even a loss. I think they'll keep the momentum going for now. All right. We got the Bears and the Commanders. I kind of feel like the Bears should win this one because it just felt like they kind of had it taken from them last year with the Hail Mary. Then again, Commanders have just looked like the better team, so I'm just going to go with the Commanders here. All right. Then there was obviously that blowout surprise loss from the Eagles. That was fun to see. Oh, it's Steelers at Bengals. Yeah, that's gonna be a shit show. Steelers are gonna continue looking good in the early regular season, and then collapse at the end, and then fail in the playoffs, just like usual. And other than that, that's about it. See you guys next week. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Love you.